Hi, my name's Neil Creswell. I run a Facebook group for Kickstarter watch collectors. We also cover other micro brands and watches that are generally collectible under $1,000. So today I'm going to be talking about one of the Seiko Presage line cocktail times, which is a new one that came out in November 2017, I think about the 10th, which is the Starlight. There's actually two versions of this, and I'll go over the differences in a couple of minutes. But let's get stuck in before I open the box, because I know you want to take a look at it. There's no wristwatch check. I don't do any crap like that. But I do want to cover the name of the watch and what it actually is about. So the first thing is the name can be quite confusing. I've seen this listed in places as the Starlight Bar, the Star Bar, and the Starlight. So the name of the watch is actually Starlight. And it's not, even though it's got a very beautiful deep blue color and kind of with a light blue overlay that's very reminiscent of the Milky Way, which makes it a very fascinating watch face to look at. Most of the blues I have are sunburst blues, which are completely different. So even though it has that kind of starlight look to it, it's not actually named after Starlight. It's named after this cocktail you can see in the picture, which is from the Star Bar in Tokyo, and the name of the cocktail is Starlight. If you get this watch, you also get the recipe. It's in Japanese, as the watch was only originally designed for the Japanese market, but you could have picked this up on the grey market if you had a particular supply and were quick. These sold out pretty fast. They came out, as I said, about November the 10th, and they were sold out before Christmas. Very hard to get hold of. And as a result, ever since then, the prices have been going up, and they're way above recommended retail price at the moment. So I'll cover the pricing in a few minutes, because I know you want to take a look at the watch. The reason you're seeing everything here, such as the Seiko Presage box and the outer cardboard box, and in fact the manual and this interesting recipe card, is because I actually have this one for sale. I actually don't want to sell it. But I deliberately bought this as an investment, as I thought the prices would go up, and I guess I was right. I have not put it on. It's totally unworn. So let's start to get a first look at the watch here. And so it's an unworn watch. It has the original tags, which you can see. And you've got the reference number. There are actually two reference numbers, so that's confusing too. I'll cover that in a minute. This is the SARY087, or as I like to say, the SARY087, which is the main reference number you'll find it under. But you can also sometimes see this listed as the SSA361J1, which is the SSA361J1, which is a Japanese reference number. So this watch... Well, we'll just take a look at it first before we do anything else. As I said, I've never worn it. It's got a beautiful blue color to it, which might not pick up too well on my home camera here, but I will include some other images of the watch so you get an idea. And it looks different in different light conditions, and it's kind of hard to capture. It's got a very lighter blue in the center that gets darker towards the outside. And it's almost like a speckled blue, so it definitely has this... kind of star cloud effect to it, but it's based upon the look of the cocktail rather than actually. The cocktail itself is, of course, fair enough, is based upon the Milky Way or something like that. It has a very deep, very soft, and really supple blue strap. There's no padding, which I really like in a dress watch. It's just got a nice backing with the I don't know if you can see it here, but with the Seiko markings on it, and it's a long strap, which is good. As you can see, I haven't even taken off the plastic yet. I definitely didn't want to put this on my wrist, because if I did, I would want to keep it, and it's not been in my watch box either. If you want the full story, I kind of told my wife I'd be selling this, and if you're a watch collector, you'll know that if you promise your spouse you're going to be selling your watch, you'd better do so if you want to buy more watches later. So this one was purely an investment for me, but I really want to keep it, but I guess, I've given my word, and, in the interest of good harmony and family relationships, that's to your benefit and my loss. So the watch itself has, there's two in the series, as I mentioned, so let's cover that first of all. So This watch has a really unusual complication, which, power reserve isn't an unusual complication. It has an unusual type of power reserve complication in the fact that it's around the outer dial. The entire outer dial here for about half the watch is a 40-hour power reserve. And there's a fourth hand, a bit like a GMT hand on a four-hander, GMT. But that fourth hand with the arrow, you can probably see that arrow pointing to somewhere just above 5 hours. Shows that there's 5 hours of power remaining on this watch. It also has a sub-dial dealing with the day of the month, which is a lighter blue, a more metallic blue. It has a sunburst effect on it, which you can see. And also it has, I'll probably mispronounce this dreadfully. I did very badly at French when I was at school. But guilloche or something like that. It basically has a very fine 3D printed pattern of concentric circles, which is really nice. So it has some very good up-close details. This is the more expensive of the two Starlights. There is another version, which is a three-hander. It doesn't have a power reserve, and it doesn't have a date sub-dial, but it does have a date window at 3 p.m., a date cutout. So that one is usually a couple of $100 cheaper. We'll talk about the price in a few seconds. But this one is, definitely the more expensive of the two, and I believe it's the more collectible. Collectors want this unusual complication, which I've only ever seen in cocktail times. I've not actually seen this type of power reserve before in other watches. Normally you get, a sub-dial or a needle hand or something in a portion of the watch. And I've seen some unusual ones as well. Like I've even seen one where part of the watch changes to a different color. But, I mean, pretty much this whole large power reserve is a really nice feature, and I think that's one that collectors will be after. And the whole Cocktail Time series in general, it's a beautiful series. You get some gorgeous reds, and you get some lighter blues with radiating spokes. Most of the ones in the series are not limited edition. This is a limited edition. You can, in fact, even see that stressed in the box. It even says limited edition there. And the limited edition quantity is 1,300, which is probably why it's sold out, because Seiko is a huge brand. And I don't know if you can see, it's a very nice case back, really good finishing. But at the very bottom there, where is it? Oh, here we are. Limited edition. I don't know if you can, there it says limited edition, and just above that, might not show too easily, is a number, which is, in my case, it's 0089/1300. So this is number 89 out of 1300 in the limited edition. Which is, it's good. It's good to have a low number below 100. So let's talk about pricing. So basically, I think we covered the reference number already, SARY087, so you can do your own research. Never trust a guy who's going to be selling something. Do your own research and you'll see for yourself. Pretty much when these came out, recommended retail price, if you can convert yen to US dollars, is about $600 US. I kind of roughly, it's give or take, exchange rates vary and so on, but, you could call it $600. If you were really lucky and picked this up like roundabouts launch day before they started selling out in the first couple of weeks, then you could probably, if you're really lucky, went to the right grey importer, maybe pick this up slightly under 600, maybe 550 or above. But, by the time Christmas has passed and we're hitting the New Year period, they were selling in the 700s, and now it's kind of getting close to 800. The going price at the moment, I've seen a number of them selling for 780, and I just can't find them for less. So whether you're going to be shopping on eBay, I know of one store that has them in stock, and they're selling them for about $780 too. And the only reason they have them in stock is they closed for a month, so they had more stock left over when they reopened. But, so the prices are definitely going up. I think they're going to be high demand, because the Cocktail Time is a very popular series, kind of got a new lease of life with some new injections into the line, and they're highly collectible. I mean, somebody who has one will want one in a different color, somebody who collects Seikos will want this, and just somebody who wants this unusual complication and a different type of blue. If you wear a watch on a wardrobe, once you've got a sunburst blue, really, maybe you get a sunburst blue diver. But, how about a blue dress watch that isn't a sunburst blue, kind of a dark blue with some interesting mottling on it and very unusual complications? It's really nice. So I think this will do very well. If you have any questions about this particular watch, I want to discuss other ones in the Cocktail Time series, or just want to come along and say hi, I hope you'll check our group out. It's a lot of fun. We've only been going for 3 or 4 months, so I think we're doing pretty well, about 4,500 people so far. But it's a community, so if you're a watch addict as much as I am, you'll be very welcome there. There's no pretentiousness. We're not really after luxury brands. If you've got them, that's great. Feel free to share some pics in Watch of the Day or something like that. But we really want to talk about more cost-effective collectibles, and this is definitely a cost-effective collectible that probably could also be a potential investment as well. I see them going up, and I think if you know anything about some of the other Seiko lines, they're definitely a highly collectible series, the Cocktail Times. And if you've never seen them before, do check out some of the other models. They're really gorgeous too.